Thoughts on the Pelosi Act? Do you think it'll pass? If you guys don't know, the Pelosi Act is the Preventing Elected Leaders on Trading Stocks and Investments Act or whatever. It's named after Pelosi and it's about stopping Congresspeople from trading stocks. What's funny is that it was created by Republican Josh Hawley. It is supported by Nancy Pelosi, who at this point has made so much money she'd like to cash out and be done with it. And then get rid of the stain from her name. The problem is that Trump has come out and said that this act benefits Pelosi and that we can't let it pass. And then Trump called Josh Hawley a second-rate Republican senator and insulted him. So I don't think it's going to pass. Trump is really hard advocated against it. Doesn't it go into effect in 2029? No, I don't think it passed. I think it didn't pass. Did you hear Trump bought $100 million in bonds? That's also true. Maybe I can explain this super simply. With bonds, which are IOUs from governments, the price is inversely correlated to the yield. I'm losing people. Let me explain. If I sell you an IOU that pays 5% interest, okay, and you own this, and then tomorrow I drop the rates or whatever, I lower rates, and now I'm only offering IOUs with 4% interest, then your IOU that you bought is worth more. The price goes up because now it's really hard to find a 5% coupon IOU. This is all you can get now from the government, okay? So if Trump buys $100 million of bonds at current interest rates and then is begging nonstop to lower interest rates, there's a big conflict of interest because the value of all of his bonds will spike. Do you understand? He has a real monetary incentive to beg for lower interest rates because now your portfolio of bonds goes way up in value because no one else can get them at these prices anymore. It's very openly corrupt to have this much of a personal financial stake in bonds when you are begging for interest rate changes. Where do you learn all this stuff? Everything I just said, I made up on top of my head. Inversely correlated isn't even a real word. I made the whole thing up, dude. Not a single thing. I don't even know who Donald Trump is. What the f is an IOU? What the f is a bond? That's all made up. I'm sorry, but America is a silly place. None of that should be remotely allowed. This is just supply and demand. This is just every country. Do you mean like Trump should not be allowed to buy bonds and then influence it? Yeah, that's correct. That part is correct. Does the Vatican sell bonds? I assume so. Vatican City bond yields. It does not. They receive money through donations, investments, and real estate. There's no IOU from Jesus. A while ago, you joked about buying Ukrainian bonds. My question is, theoretically, if I do that, can they simply not pay me back? Ukrainian bonds pay 45% return. Absurd return. If you put in $100, they'll give you back 145. The problem is, Ukraine might not exist or might default or might not have any money. Your risk is very, very high. So feel free if you want to gamble and you want to support Ukraine, you can buy Ukrainian war bonds. But they may not be able to pay you back and you may lose all your money. That's why Switzerland pays almost nothing because the risk of them not paying is very, very low. And Ukraine pays the most because their risk of not paying is very, very high. Dude, speaking of bond yields, every single day, Japan's bond yields get crazier. Japan cannot borrow money from anyone. There's not a country on earth that will loan Japan money. All of it is them buying their own. It's Japanese banks that are required to, and then Japan printing money to buy its own bonds. So their bonds are artificially low, but rising because nobody else. It used to be a little bit, no one else is buying. I have a question about bonds for a long time. With countries like the Ukraine, there's a risk they might not exist, but I can't imagine a world where the US truly defaults. Instead, the risk feels like the gains will be negated by inflation from money printing to pay back. Is that right? Or you're not missing anything. Yeah, the odds of the US actually defaulting and saying we're not paying on their bonds is very low. The risk would be more that it's a 5% return or whatever. They decide, okay, we can't pay this debt without printing money. They print a bunch of money to pay it. The inflation is above 5% and your real return is negative. Wouldn't static USD be worse than that anyways? Yeah, but it's not about versus static USD. It's versus anything else you could be in. You could be in real estate or stocks or gold or Swiss bonds or whatever. You could be in something else. Everything is weighed against your best alternative. Good work suggested having the Fed pay Sydney Sweeney to advertise US bonds. In my work. It's a better strategy than some of the things Scott Besson is saying, dude. Sydney Sweeney doing a nationwide Buy American Bonds Act ad campaign? That might actually work, bro. Is data science imploding as fast as computer science? I don't think so, no. I can't say I couldn't tell you off the top of my head what the stats are, but I would say it's way harder to get a job as a new CS graduate than a data science one, but I'll check. Data science. The overall data science job market is down 15% year over year. Data analyst is still doing pretty good, and data engineer is still doing pretty good. Just, yeah, make yourself an AI data scientist, which means you take all the Excel data, you feed it into ChatGPT and say, give me something to tell my boss. What the f, that's what I do. I mean, listen, I've been very red-pilled on data science as a job. I'm not disrespecting you if you're a data scientist. Many of you are very smart. Actually, the smartest guy I know is a data scientist. But the true reality is that most data science is a job where your entire job is to make numbers that make your boss's decision look correct. Like, it's not like you give hard data to your boss and he makes a smart decision with it. It's like he has a decision in mind and you have to create the numbers that make that look right. That's the real purpose of the job. Yeah, get the data that supports your higher ups. That is my experience from talking to data scientists. Oh, dude, Elon Musk really had, I don't even know if I can show it on screen. Like, he's gotten insane with it, dude. He's like every day retweeting and talking about his AI girlfriend. He might have deleted them. They were crazy. I feel uncomfortable like pulling these up. It's crazy. Here's one that you can just, I want you guys to get ideas. I haven't shown you anything yet. He rolled out a AI girlfriend for Grok called Annie or Ani, and then has been constantly promoting it and talking about how like he's retweeting videos of her dancing in like skin tight outfits, and I think he deleted a ton of them. But it's been like days of doing it, and it's just, even his own fans are like, bro, this is low. Good morning, rise and shine. Reminder to start your day with a smile and a sparkle. Here's the coffee that you just right, sunny skies. Elon GM heart face. Bro, stop gooning to AI anime and take us to Mars. Like, even his fucking degenerate Twitter blue fans are like, he was doing this so much. It was crazy. I follow Elon on x.com because it's good for this job to have the stories that he creates. And it was like, what? It was crazy. You would open up the app and it would be like, Elon Musk looking cute today. It's like crazy. I can't imagine. I can't imagine being the world's richest man and just thinking that, publicly to everyone it's crazy. But I don't think there's more of a story here. I think he deleted them all. Imagine being worth $250 billion and still tweeting like a Discord mod. His wife I didn't see that. It wasn't his wife. He had a baby with Ashley St. Clair, and she was on Fortnite Friday. I didn't see it. Did she say anything interesting? The Rizzler was there? What a world. The Rizzler joined Ashley St. Clair on Fortnite Friday, hosted by Connery's Pants. We've lost the light of God. Connor's got motion? Absolutely. There's no denying that Connor has motion. If you guys don't know, there was a Patreon thing. There was a main Lemonade Stand episode where Aiden talked about how great Sweden is and how America sucks in every way. By the way, there's a lot of things I like about Sweden and I'd like to learn from in America, which is why it's a tough thing to be nuanced about. Because he's basically given me the speech that he's given to his girlfriend. To convince her to move, okay? And so he's got his talking points ready, and he's got a graph that he made where he put in all the numbers that says how it's like, it's like 1,000 numbers on the spreadsheet, and it all comes out to basically say like, the taxes in Sweden aren't bad and all the money is great, and you're gonna be practically making money there. And then he springs it on us and basically jumps in. And so, on the pod, we're supposed to have contrasting viewpoints. That's one of our core things. We need to have like the counterpoint. And so I'm trying to think in the moment of like what I want to say, but also has to be authentic to what I believe. And it's tough in the moment for that. Anyway, on the Patreon, I bring up that I was like, man, on that main episode, I felt like I didn't, I didn't have enough to say. And then he launches into it again and harder. He goes on another longer speech about Sweden. And it's like I'm not kidding, another 30, 45 minutes about Sweden. And again, I got nothing. I like Sweden. I've been to Sweden multiple times. I like it. I don't want to say something like, yeah, Sweden sucks. And I don't believe that. I think Sweden has so many things we can learn from. But it's not black and white is all I'm saying. Yeah, I felt like I'm the random college student in like a Ben Shapiro debate. Where I just walk in and he's got his talking points already. It's like, define a woman. Define a woman. What's a woman? And I'm like, I wasn't prepared for this. I just think you're kind of weird. And it's like, and I'm getting thrown at. So anyway, now I got to move to Sweden because I lost the debate. Maybe Linkus debating? Well, that's the funny thing, dude. So Linkus afterwards tells me I was watching your debate and I was getting so mad because you weren't bringing up all the reasons that I'm mad at Sweden, like why I moved to America. So I have to I'm going to try and record something secretly with Linkus and then spring it on Aiden. But here's the problem. Here's the fucking secret problem. If it were up to Aiden, 90% of every episode would be talking about Nordic countries. No matter what I spring on him, he's going to be happy to talk more about Sweden. If it was up to him, we talk about Sweden every episode for 3/4 of the episode. It's the third pillar of the podcast. That's true. That and trains.